Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about variables, and we're specifically going to be talking about four different variables: the integer, the double, the string, and the character. So let's start off with our integer. So the way we set up an int variable is as follows. Say int, the keyword int, then you put your whatever name you want, so I can put my number, and then you set that equal to any whole number. And later on, you might have to worry about the range of the int, but for now, most whole numbers will fit into an int. If you want to know the range exactly, it's -2147483648 to 2147483647. So any number within this range can fit into an integer. Now, there is something that you should know. You cannot put a decimal point number into an integer. That's because a decimal number is not a whole number. So as you can see, it'll underline it in red, and that's no good. So that's not possible. So how do we represent decimal point numbers? Well, there's something called a double. And this double stands for a double precision number. And it's basically a decimal number. So it's the same way as we declared an int, but instead of int, you put double. So we can name this my double, and we can set that equal to 65.3. Now you can set a double to a decimal point number or a whole number. So you can say my double, my second double is equal to 5. So as you can see, 5 is technically an int, but it will go into a double. And that's because of something related to the bit storage. An integer is 32 bits, while a double is 64 bits, and a 32-bit will fit into a 64-bit. But we can get into that later. But it doesn't work the other way around. For example, if we say int my second number is equal to 5.3, we'll get an error because a 64-bit does not fit into a 32-bit. Or you can think of it as this decimal will not go into a whole number. You can think of it as not every decimal is a whole number, but every whole number can be fit into a decimal. So watch out for that when you're coding. So now that we've got two variables out the way, let's start talking about string. Now, string is really important in Java in representing expressions, not mathematical expressions, of course, but any sentences or names that you have. So the way you define a string, be careful, it's a capital S here, and the rest is the same. So you can say string u is equal to y. Oh. But as you can see, when I define the string, I put double quotation marks around it, and that is required in Java. You surround your string with double quotation marks. If we just put yo without the quotation marks, it wouldn't work, because then it would be looking for a variable named yo. So let's replace that with a top. So those strings fit into a string variable type. Just another example, we could say string u2 is equal to, I don't know, YouTube. And there's many other methods that you can use with these variable types, but we'll get into that later. Right now we're just introducing them to you. And the final variable type I'm going to be talking about is the character. And you represent the character with char. And it's the same thing as the int and the double. So you just say char and then whatever name you want. And you set that equal to any character. Now be careful when you're making a char. You cannot use double quotes. You use a single quotation mark to surround the character. And since it's a character, you can't put a string in it, so it can't have multiple characters. That doesn't work that way. It's only one single character. So I is an example of a character. Another example of character is dot. Another example of a character is this bracket. So almost anything you have on your keyboard can fit into there. Even numbers. So as you can see, 7 fits into the character data type because it is a character on your keyboard. So those are our 4 different types of variables, and in the next videos we'll start talking about some of the methods that you can perform on these, as well as some concatenation and operations. Thank you for watching.